Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Go Via or Go Home. We are still working away on the Helix, but we are making some progress, basically. So far, my track is all the way around, from right there, all the way around with the cork, and I painted it black here, all the way around. Sorry about the dizziness. All the way up, and we've made basically a full loop, but this piece here will solidify that loop. And basically what happens here is that because I've made a full loop, I'm no longer using these riser pieces because that is the last piece. We are now climbing the center pieces. I don't know what you call them. The pieces. I don't know what you call them. The riser, the inside riser holder block thing. But we've got this one against the wall here. This is the first one. This is the first step in going vertical. So I've got these, just got back from Home Depot, and I found these. They are 4" by 4" metal. Like, this ain't bending. This ain't going nowhere. It's a metal bracket. And yeah. So, I mean, you get 8 in a pack. So I got about 4 packs just to start. This will get my first level to second level done, basically, all the way around. And yeah, so I drilled them in where they're supposed to go, like right along the first one here. I'm only going 4 high just to start. And that's where those brackets are going to go. Because I'm pre-drilling it, it kind of solidifies it and says, okay, this is the placeholder. This is where it's going to go. Okay, no problem. So when I put my first brace in and my first bracket, obviously you can see I took it off because it's already been drilled in, but I took it out. And when it was in there, I took my pencil after it was in its place and I kind of went on the inside and I made a little circle just like that. Right there. Well, it's under that. And then I screwed it in. I got some, what size are these? The cat's helping me again, if you want to call it help. So I got some of these tiny little screws here. And basically, and we'll do it with this one here. There we go. So you can kind of see it holds it. It doesn't go all the way through the plywood. And I'll just flip this over. See, nothing came through. So that's good. But I'm using these regular wood screws to, put it right through into the 2x4. And as you can see, again, doesn't go through. But very, very strong. I'm very, very happy about this. This construction really makes me feel like it's going to work. Hopefully. We're not there yet, but high hopes. All right. So now I've got the first bracket in here, which is great because what I'm going to do, I'm going to attach it back to this piece here. And then I'm going to put that one right back to there. And it's going to be in place. That's where it's going to stay. And it'll be good. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. But I'm going to do it anyways. So here we go. All right, so I've got the piece reattached there. You can see that it does kind of complete the circle here. And I'm right back to here. Now, before I go ahead and I attach my next piece, I'm going to add my first set of feeders right in here. All my feeders are going to be probably at the back. And will it be enough? Like, will one feeder be enough to go all the way around? And then another feeder here? Most likely. I solder my joints really well, so I don't foresee it to be an issue, because opposed to it being a feeder here feeding that and then it goes all the way around, because I'm going to have another feeder right here, it's almost as if I just need power going from here all the way around halfway, because from there, the feeder from here is feeding there. That's how I think of it anyways. But it's also feeding going up to the next level around here. So I think that one feeder should be good because I literally only have one feeder right now connected to my entire layout, and I can run a train right from like end to end on just the bottom level, and there's no real problems. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. This is eventually going to be a block which I'll, sort out later. But for now, I'm going to get those feeders in. And you can also see here, this is my first, technically, it's a riser here for right there. There we go. So I'm going to put that in place. I have to drill that in. And then this is basically my support system going forward, as in going around this way. And yeah, there's going to be little L brackets going all the way up. Another thing to note is that I'm going to be painting the back part here all black once, everything's said and done, once it's in place and all that stuff, because it'll look like garbage if it's not. I want it to, carry this same kind of look here. So it's gonna, it'll be black. So it's kind of hidden, more or less. Yeah. I was even thinking about doing like a backdrop going all the way up and stuff, but I'm like, nah, that might be a bit much. Because it's already cost, like, I ordered my backdrop to go across the first level here. It's about $150 for 40 feet of backdrop. And I have to do 3 levels like that, and I might need extra. So backdrop alone for this thing is, about $400 to $500 just for backdrop. Yikes. So trying to keep that cost down, but at the same time, certain things are necessary, like these brackets here. So we'll do this, and I'm going to get a bit more connected. And I'm also going to work out my feeder system as well for the back here. So we'll check in on that in a minute. So I often talk about all the 1 million little jobs that I need to do. Now that I know that obviously this whole section works, the train goes from up here all the way down to here, everything is cool. There's no rubbing between the two, like if I've got 2 long cars here. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to fill in all these spots. So you won't be able to tell. I've already done the outside, so good luck trying to find where those connections are, because they kind of blend in really well. But when you have an open section like this, you just want to throw your empty ties, the ones that you cut off. You always save them. Always make sure you save them. And then just fill them in, a little bit of glue. I take my knife and I just take off the little rough parts there where the rails get held in. So I just kind of flatten it out, because you can kind of see they stick up, right? So I take all of those off, and then I just push it right under the actual rails here. There you go, 1 and 2, and then you just make sure it's lined up real well. You don't want to squish them together like that. There you go. So it looks like that, and I take some of the glue that I use for gluing all my ties down. Just put a little bit there, and I'll put a little bit on the inside just to give it some extra strength. And there you go. So you got to do that literally everywhere on your layout. But yeah, this is one of those visible sections. So I want to make sure that, this is all done here. I'm going to have to get another one for there. And then we will move to some electronics. All right, so I'm just working on my electronics here. I have these really good terminal strips from like 5 layouts ago, I guess, when I first started buying terminal strips, when I was looking into, what I should do to connect all my tracks and whatnot. So I invested in some really good ones. Now, I haven't used them up until now, but this is where they will come in real handy. So I've got these 2 long ones here that hold about 8, and I've got some of these little ones here that hold 4. So what I'm doing, I'm going to do 2 different tracks. All my red is my positive, red being my favorite color, and then any other color for the other side. So in this case, I've got the little blue and the white there for that. So that'll be my negative, I guess. Doesn't matter, because once I hook it up, I just have to stay consistent. All the red go together and all the other go together. So basically, you know, I'm jumping all my joiners here. That's what all, or yeah, I'm jumping all of them so that when I send power through the red, it will power every single one of these. So now all I have to do is connect every single negative track to one of these ports here, or sorry, all the positives to this side and all the negatives. So when we look at it like a piece of track, which I don't have any spare track on me. So I guess the left rail, if you imagine this as a track, this is the left rail, this is the right rail. You know, you drop all your feeders and then each one will go to that. Now this here is specifically for the Helix. I've got 2 tracks and it's gonna go around a good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So 8 times 2 is 16. So I've added as well some, so I've added 2 more here, which are going to go farther up. So it'll go like this. And then the next one will go up from there. I just have to do the ones for the red because they're right there. So I have to connect more. And then this will go at the very bottom of the Helix right here. And then the next one will go up like right about here. And then the next one will go up right about there. And then every time I have wires coming from the track, I just run them to the different little ports on here. That way when I feed this, well, this will be attached to my block detection because this is going to be one entire block here. So these are all my negatives and positives, which is going to be this entire Helix. And that's how the Helix is going to be wired. Super simple, super easy. It's going to be neat in the clean sense, and it'll work, I hope. All right, so I've got my first little power thingy here, terminal strips. I've got that attached. So this is where I usually start my wiring. Now, here's a little tip for everybody. Because your track on your layout, depending on, like if you're doing an oval, it might be a little bit easier because the inside track is going to be one color and the outside track will be another color. But if you're ever curious as to what your track is going to, like what rail or what color feeder or whatever you want to use, what you do, you take just a rolling stock like this. Now, usually I would use like electrical tape, but I'm all out of red electrical tape. So I just took a green piece and wrote red on it. Now I know from down the line here, this track here, so this rail, because this is the side that's facing me, that is going to be red. Now if I was to let this go all the way around down to the other end of my layout and come all the way back, on this track, the red would be facing the wall. So I know personally that the outside track here and the outside track here are both going to be red wires, where the inside tracks for both are going to be the other color, whether it's black or in this case here, white. I think I've got white wires, so I'm going to use white here. And that is how I'm going to wire my Helix, because this here, as I'm going around the Helix all the way up to the top, even up to this level here, that is still going to be a red wire. So all my red wires are here, white wires are here, white wires are here, red wires are there. And if you're ever not sure, you just follow the car along, and when you get to a spot where you're going to wire, just remember the red is going to be on this side because that's what the box car says. All right, so with this here, this is my little snake kind of looking wire system here. So I pre-drill 4 holes, and as you can see they're, you know, roughly in a line, so I know where all my wires are. I'm not going to stagger them, it doesn't make too much sense. So they're all in a row, and they're the corresponding color to the rail that it needs to be, which is perfect. And you know, I would say I bend the little head of it a bit, and all the wire like I don't have these pre-cut. This is, I recycle my wire. So I found some long pieces here, and I'm going to be doing the same thing for all of them, just so that nothing gets wasted. And wire is kind of expensive, to be honest with you. For a spool of this, I think it's like 30 bucks or something. And I could go out and buy another spool, but then I've got all this wire at home that I can just use, and it's available. So basically, I just have to run them to, you know, the little ports here on the little electrical board. I'm going to call it an electrical board. Sure, why not? And yeah, so I'm going to solder it to the track first, pull it down tight. And then, like, this doesn't have to be too fancy here. I don't have to mess with it too much because this is all going to be hidden anyways from the outside. You won't see any of it, so it's not too important. The other stuff that I will do as I go higher up, I will most likely hot glue it right along the edge like this. That way it's kind of hidden, it's not hanging down, and it looks a lot neater. But I'll show you that as I go upwards. So now that my first set of feeders are on there for the bottom loop, or for the bottom section of the loop anyways, I've got well, technically 5 if we're counting that one back there. But I've got a couple of the supports up here. They already have their 4-inch angle pieces on. And I have my first section for this level. So I'm just gonna, so I can just sit it like that, you know, and that's basically how it's gonna go all the way around, you know, no matter where I put it. And it's always gonna be the same height, right? And it's just a puzzle piece, right? And these are what hold the puzzle pieces in place. So going around here, gonna line that up like that. So the curve comes around the curve and then keeps going up this way. I just got to attach it there. And then what I'm going to do is, in order to hold it to these, right, I have to go on the underside, use my pencil, make a little ring for both. Then I have to take off both the angle pieces there, drill it to it, and then I can put it back. And I'll use the pre-drilled holes that are obviously holding it up right now. Now, because I can't get my drill in there, I have to use a screwdriver to kind of go in there and do it. But I've got a pre-drilled hole ready for them to get connected to. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. And we're going to get this, we're just going to keep going. That's it. That's all I can say about this. We're going to just keep going. And I've got about 3 pieces, well, 2 more pieces, because that's the third one there. I'm only going to attach one more. The backdrop is on its way, and I cannot go any higher than that yet. I want to, but I will not, because I need to be able to get back in here. I'm probably even going to take the modules off of here, just so I can get it in place, and then I'll put that right back. Yeah, because I mean, I don't want to mess up the backdrop. It's like a one-time thing here. I'm gluing it to the backdrop, and that's it. So hopefully it works. But this is looking really good. I like this. I even picked up more paint. I went to Michael's and I got a little bit of black acrylic paint. So once these 2 pieces are up, I will cork all the way to here. Well, technically it should end right about here, but I'll cork to about here, and then I'll paint it black. And then I've got a few more pieces of track. I'm not sure how far I'm going to be able to go from here. I might be able to make it to there, maybe a little bit further. I'm not sure, but then I'm out of track again. I literally just got 15 pieces, and I was able to get from there to here, and then I'll get a little bit further, and then I'm out of track again. Man, this is expensive. But it's a great investment. So either way, it's going to be good. And it's looking real sharp. Getting lots of compliments on it from you guys. I really appreciate the feedback. And I really appreciate all the support, because honestly, this is a scary, scary venture for me, doing something that I've never done before. But honestly, just do it. Just put it in and you know, move on with it, right? Because that's the only way you're going to get things done. That's the only way you're going to learn is by trying. If I fail, whatever, I'll start over, I guess. I don't know. But let's hope that's not the case. I do have to make some sort of support system for the top, because if this is the top here, I'm pretty sure I can utilize all this space up above for when this train. So I'm just going to take a look here. So this is the last loop right here. Okay, so that means the two trains are going to come up, and then right about here is going to veer off to the top level. But I still have up top here. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to put a big industry in there. Why not? But what industry should I do? Now, the first thing I'm thinking, as far as a big industry with lots of buildings, is ethanol. Big fan of ethanol, especially with all the cylindrical hoppers and tank cars that are needed. And with the fact that I've got little petrol drop-offs along the layout for like Shell, gas, and a few others, I can utilize that. And I can, you know, fill here, take to the little gas bar or whatever, and then drop it off, and then the trucks can transport it from there. Or do it as a truck, like fill up, so I have some, whatever, tanks, storage tanks and whatnot along the layout as well. There's that. Or there's the new steel mill and all the buildings for that. Now, my only problem is if I'm standing right up against the layout, okay, that's as far as I can reach. Obviously, like, I don't know, I guess I'm short, but this is eye level for me. And I'm thinking, well, I can't go too far back, but if I do like 4 or 5 tracks right here, even if I stand on a little step stool, that'd be okay. And then do the rest of this as scenery, like right around the back there, like pure bush, and you know, put some buildings up here. At least I can reach the tracks. That's not a problem, because they're, you know, right along the edge here. And then, you know, go from there. But I can't do anything too massive or, you know, with reach and whatnot. So I'm just thinking of different ideas. If anybody has an idea as to what they think I should put up there, let me know, and I will definitely consider it. Maybe something I haven't considered before, but I'm definitely, you know, I'm very on the fence about it, but I wouldn't mind ethanol. Let me know, comment section below. Again, thank you very much, everybody, for watching, for the continued support, the new subscribers, the continuous subscribers. And honestly, like, yeah, we've got so much going on this month. Man, just wait for that GVO After Dark at the end of the month. It's going to be awesome. We've got some prizes and giveaways, tricks and treats, you named it, or you name it. And then we've got some new locomotives that we want to show you. Yeah, it's going to be a blast. But anyways, I'm Go Go Home. Until the next video, see you around.